breaking right now at 6. Crews are battling an intense brush fire in Golden Gate Estates. You are watching chopper crews picking up water in the Valencia Lakes neighborhood and dropping it over the flames.
Here's a look inside the fire zone. Intense flames right up against this road. This fire has burned at least 100 acres, and the windy conditions are making it tough for firefighters to get it under control. Crews are evacuating several blocks in Golden Gate Estates. 3 homes are already damaged. You can see the line of cars down Wilson Boulevard North. The evacuation zone stretches down Wilson Boulevard between 24th and 47th Avenues. Hundreds of people are impacted by this. Thank you for watching NBC2. I'm Peter Bush.
And I'm Kyla Gaylor. This is just one of a dozen fires burning across Southwest Florida right now, from Northport to Cape Coral and Hendry County. I want to take a live look now at the fire in Cape Coral. You're looking at the view from the Edison Grand in downtown Fort Myers. You can see smoke rising in the distance and just kind of a hazy view all around. NBC2 has team coverage throughout the area as crews try to control these fires. First Alert meteorologist Rob Duns is tracking those windy conditions, and we have NBC2 reporter Alicia Alonso in Cape Coral.
But first, let's go to Ryan Arbogast. He is right near that evacuation zone on Wilson Boulevard in Golden Gate Estates. Ryan?
Peter, what we know right now is that this fire is growing. It's up to about 100 acres with only about 10% containment. That containment has not changed since we spoke to you last at 5 and 5:30. Now, we spoke to the Greater Naples Fire Rescue Chief earlier, and he told me that he is sending every resource across Lee and Collier counties here to this spot to battle this fire. Now, we've seen representatives from San Carlos Park, Marco Island, FWC, FHP, LCSO, and more barrel through this exact police barricade to get to that scene. We also know 3 homes have been burned so far. We have no word on any of those were fatalities. And cars are back down for at least a mile down the street on Wilson and 14th Avenue Northwest. Now, I want to get to the evacuations, but let's take some video that we shot earlier to show exactly what this looks like from the sky. Evacuations include Jung Boulevard, 16th Avenue Northwest, 18th, 20th, 22nd, and 24th Avenues Northwest, and Immokalee Road has also been shut down. And for those people that have had to evacuate, Max Haas Community Park has been opened as an evacuation center. Now, we have crews all over Collier County covering this wildfire, north of Everglades Boulevard, north of Immokalee Road, and here at 14th Avenue Northwest and Wilson Boulevard. We'll make sure to keep you updated as soon as we learn more information on fighting this fire.
Hurricane Idalia made landfall along the coast of Florida's Big Bend near Keaton Beach as a strong Category 3 storm around 7:45 this morning.
NBC2 anchor Ellen Campbell is in Perry, Florida, just about 20 miles away from where the storm made landfall. Ellen.
But I really want to bring your eyes and your attention to this over here. Those winds were so strong from Hurricane Idalia when it came here onshore, probably about 110, 120 miles per hour, ripped this tin roof right off of this business here, and then tossed that tin roof across over here, maybe about 75 yards in front of the Postal Service here in Perry, in front of a major thoroughfare, US 221. But you know what? As I mentioned earlier, the people here in Perry, they are coming together. They know the importance of being together as a community and helping each other out, similar to what we are doing in Southwest Florida nearly a year after Hurricane Ian, as we also continue to rebuild. But I want to show you something here that stood up to Hurricane Idalia. Mitch, can you zoom in on that? That is a sign of hope here for the people in Perry. That is Old Glory, high above on that pole, stood there the entire time, and is flying right now in the wind.
And I want to give you a different perspective. Right now, you can see your eye level with me, and I am standing on the surface level. This is exactly where the road once was. Now what I want to show you is I'm going to safely move down here and slowly, because, you know, it is a little bumpy out here. But right now, this is about 2 feet below surface level. But the closer and closer we get to the Gulf, I just dropped another foot, that's about 3 feet below surface level. The closer and closer we get to the Gulf, you can just see that these massive pieces of concrete slabs are sitting at below 5 feet below surface level. And it just shows you a little bit of the damage, especially because this side of the road is closest to the Gulf, which means it was getting hit the hardest by the Gulf waves. You could just see that there are some people who are still walking across this road here. And again, just like Kelly and Peter said, this is just a little north of Blind Pass Beach.
Breaking news right now at 3 o'clock. 5 friends are dead after the car they were in crashed into a Fort Myers retention pond overnight. Police say all 5 were teenagers. We know some worked at the Texas Roadhouse restaurant not far from the crash site at the Shops at Village Walk. This crash happened in that retention pond. It's right by Top Golf near I-75 in Colonial. Really heartbreaking news we're following this afternoon, but we're glad you're with us. I'm Kyla Gaylor.
And I'm Trent Bennett. Police are still trying to figure out when the car crashed and how it ended up in one of those ponds, as Kyla said. We have live team coverage from the scene. We spoke with one of the victims' families about the heartbreaking crash. First, let's go straight to NBC2's Christy Soto.
Trent, Kyla, it is just heavy out here to know 5 teenagers died in this pond right over my shoulder. I was here talking to mothers of some of the kids that were inside of that car. I spoke to one woman who was in tears hugging her husband, knowing that her son died right here at this pond. I mean, we're talking 5 teenagers that were 18, 19 years old. Some of them just graduated high school. I mean, they had their whole lives ahead of them, and it was cut short. We have been following this since 8 o'clock this morning when Fort Myers police were telling us that they were just investigating some type of incident that happened here on Topgolf Way, to then at 12:15 when Fort Myers police held a press conference telling us that 5 teenagers died in a tragic crash here at this pond. I mean, even the officers, when they were talking to us and telling us what happened here, they were choking up. I mean, it was just heartbreaking.
All the preparations in the world never could have prepared any of us for what we are about to go through.
Welcome to our continuous coverage, and we are committed to stay on the air for you.
We are experiencing this hurricane the same way that you are.
Our team of meteorologists back here, there's no one better. Trust us, you can trust them.
It's going to be slower, and that's why our rainfall totals and our storm surge problem could be significant.
Night wind just kept churning and churning.
The sound of the river running through the bottom floor.
I had to break into the upstairs apartment so I could be safe.
So this is in Fort Myers Beach on Cutlass Drive?
Yeah. 2564 Cutlass Drive. It's 4 of us.
4 of us? On Cutlass Drive, and you're on the 2nd floor already?
Yeah.
Then Thursday,
it was 5 hours of just pure hell.
Revealed the road ahead. The iconic places we love and we're known for.
We got complacent because of what happened with Irma. We got complacent and we thought it never could happen here. And this was, in fact, the perfect storm.
Destroyed.
It was horrifying. Literally watching everything wash away.
Like bombs got dropped through there. You know, the roads are all just gone. The houses are totally destroyed. It's just looks like Tinker Toys thrown all over the place. Devastation. I mean, I've never seen such destruction. Just praying for all those people.
The tragedy.
Everything's, completely gone. Completely shocked that it happened. We didn't prepare for 18-foot surges.
Didn't end with Ian.
I think finally realizing that our neighbor's okay, because we thought when we came, we thought he was dead.
The days ahead.
Oh my God.
Filled with rescues. Realizations.
I can't put it into words.
We have to be thankful to be alive.
And recovery.
We're here for anybody that needs assistance.
Our community, our coastline, change forever. But as we move forward,
The resilience is there.
the signs are there. The hope is there.
We'll rebuild this community. It will be rebuilt.
I'm Kelly Burns with Peter Bush and Allison Ray. We're live on Fort Myers Beach for the one-year anniversary of the hurricane. And man, it's been quite a year. Driving down here was kind of emotional, just looking around. In some areas there was so much progress. In some areas it looked like the storm had passed through the day before and nothing. So we're here to kind of remind you of what we endured that day, but also look forward. And we have so many stories of resilience and people who just, it brought this community together.
Yeah, I mean, this was the defining moment for Southwest Florida. Even if you've lived here for 100 years, there has never been an event that changed this community more than this.
And so many people, you know.
Yes, widespread.
Widespread devastation and so many people impacted in different ways. So it is nice to hear people's stories of, we all got through this, you know, we just did it maybe in different ways, and you're going to hear those stories. And yeah, it's interesting, you drive down here, I think I'm a little bit more emotional than I was expecting. There's still areas of rubble, there's still areas of building, and then you see kind of both ends of the spectrum of, okay, we're moving on, we're going to be there, we'll be fine. So.
There are a ton of events around Southwest Florida today. You knew that we'd mark the occasion somehow. There are events, and not just ones looking back on the doom and gloom. Most of them are forward-looking, looking at the progress we've made. One of those is the Revive the Vibe event on Fort Myers Beach, which perfectly encapsulates the spirit of Fort Myers Beach. And there's music. It's more like a party feel to it, which is great. You know, people need to smile on this day and not just be sad.
It has been 1 year since Hurricane Ian changed Fort Myers Beach forever. The iconic pier is still just pilings, a shell of what it once was, what we once knew, a landmark of this little beach town. But here too, beauty remains. Below, water like glass, and above, that cloud-swirled sky. It's what keeps us going with such a long way yet to go.
Everyone would hope that the recovery is faster, but the reality is you have to remember what it was like a year ago.
Councilman Bill Veach does remember, won't ever forget. Buildings literally leveled to the sand.
It's an uneven recovery. There are some places that are up and running and other places that haven't even started.
And in the end, it is still here. Not how we remember it, no, will never be. But over time, the pier will be rebuilt, and the next chapter will take shape.
Times Square, you know, it's still going to be the heart of town. It's the beaches here, the pier will be here.
And most important of all, the people will be here on this very beach to make new memories and to reminisce about the old ones.
Think you might have found me my own kind of paradise.
Search your memories long enough, and you'll start to hear it. The familiar sound of the place we call paradise. This comeback story is only just beginning.
I'm optimistic. I mean, it won't be what it was, but it's still got a beautiful beach. We still have a lot of gifts here, and you know, we'll get fresh blood in. I really hope that people stick around, that, you know, that are the lifeblood of this community. But it's a gorgeous island. It will be here.
From Fort Myers Beach, I'm Evan Dean for NBC2.